Greenleaf, you guys, we're in here like swimwear, darlings. Listen, I just happen to be off today. I usually work on Wednesdays when Greenleaf comes on, but I just happen to be off. Well, I went to work and then I left early. So shouts out to the good old VTO. Y'all know what if y'all work at Amazon, y'all know what I mean by that. But anyway, yeah, so I've just decided to review Greenleaf. On normal days, well, on days that I'm actually at work, where I stay at work all night, you'll begin the Greenleaf review probably like on Fridays or Saturdays when I watch it on demand because I wouldn't be able to watch it when it premieres, when the new episode premieres on Wednesdays because I'll be at work Wednesday to Saturday. So yeah, child, I just decided to review Greenleaf, and while I'm thinking about it, what I'm gonna try to do, if you guys watched my last video, which was a smash up between Greenleaf and Braxton Family Values, I'm just gonna give you guys that because I've started to review Braxton Family Values again this season as well. So I'm just gonna give you guys a smash up of Greenleaf and Braxton Family Values. If not, I'm gonna give you guys separate videos of those two if I'm off, if I'm not busy and able to watch it or whatever on that night that the new episode premieres. That makes sense. So on basically any time that I'm not at work and the shows come on, then I'm gonna review it and give y'all a review on that specific show, like I'm gonna do today on Greenleaf only, because Braxton Family Values comes on tomorrow, but I'll be at work tomorrow. But if not, then if I'm free, then I'm gonna give y'all the separate videos. If I'm at work, I'm gonna give y'all the smash up of Greenleaf and Braxton Family Values. And also, I want you guys to go ahead and hit that bell, that good old nasty bell. It should be somewhere by my name. And you'll get notified of any new videos that I post. So you'll be the first to, get to the videos and like the videos and comment on the videos. Yes. Oh. So anyway, I've been a fan of Greenleaf since season one. Watched it last season. Love the show. Love the plot line. I'm living for the OWN network right now. And so since I figured I do so many ratchet ass shows, I review so many ratchet shows, I should review shows that's a little bit more clean, a little bit more upstanding, a little bit more classy, more so, to my that fits my personality. I keep hearing like thumping behind me. Listen, if it goes to some folks in here, as long as I don't see them, darling, we cool. They can stay here. As long as they don't appear, darling. I love you, Ken folks, and I'm passed away, but I do not want to see you just yet. Mm-mm. So anyway, Greenleaf. Picking up from last week's episode, which is the first episode of um season 2. Let's see. We have Pastor James Calvary, James. All them kids daddy. Pastor Pastor Greenleaf, child. He is talking to Lady May, Lynn Whitfield, and they're talking, shooting the shit in bed, and they're just like, "Yo, look, um, when is you gonna tell?" Lady May was just like, "Look, when are you gonna tell, Jacob, their son, about Bazin, who works at Triumph, the rival church across the water?" And the daddy's just not too pressed on Jacob. He's not really, I think that he loves his son, but I don't think that he like has too much faith in his son because I just don't think he knows what his son wants to do, and I don't think his son knows what to do either. So it's just kind of like a battle between father and son between that whole moment. But Lady May, she's all up with her son. In my opinion, Jacob is her favorite child, and it's mostly like that. The men are really softer than their fathers, and the women are really softer than their sons. So it seems to be that way. But last week it ended actually with Bazin. He was talking to Pastor, and he was just like, "Look, the judgment day is coming for you, and you killed my daddy." And because the pastor, he was just like, "So what's going on? Like, What's T? What you got against me? Why are you trying to like burn down my church? And like you're constantly against me. Like, what's going on with you? And he was just like, oh, you don't know you killed my daddy, so it's gonna be on. And the whole story goes is way, way back in the day, Uncle Mac and James, they basically had a whole little moment where they burned down a church, and this guy that was in the church, well, that was apparently Basin's daddy, the rival church owner, so who Jacob now works for, the son. So it's just a whole mess with that, and he's just totally shocked. But to James' knowledge, he's just like, I had no idea. I knew about the two girls, but I didn't know that he had a son. So maybe he's lying. Maybe he's just saying that or whatever. So we'll see as the season progresses if the Bazin guy who Jacob is now working for is actually the son of the guy who they burned in the church. Okay, moving on. So we have Carlton. And Carlton is the choir director, child. He can sing. The kids in the church who's married to Mr. Carson, which is Kyle from Living Single. Shouts out to him. Glad to see he's working. Yes. Um, Carlton, they want Carlton gone, basically. And Carlton has been kicked out of the church once before because he's an openly gay man and he's married. And they don't like that in the black church house, as we know. And so the board members have been coming to Lady May, and they've been saying that they're not going to give their money or whatever to the church until that queen gets the hell on up out the church. And so Lady May and James' hands are pretty much tied. Grace comes in to talk to them, and she's just like, so what's going on? And they was just like, look, your homeboy, your little queen friend, he got to go. We don't support that at Calvary and the Bible this and the Bible that and all this old bull. So Grace was just like, "Are you serious? Like, this is like we promised him. Like, this cannot be. This can't be happening, darling." But they was just like, I mean, it's done or whatever. But you can try to go and get me, I guess, but it ain't gonna make no difference. So Grace, she goes over to talk to Charity, her sister, and she's up here talking, shooting the shit with Jabari, which is this little music guy that she's working with on some songs, and they seem to have a connection. Y'all know that Charity is married um to this gay man. Well, he's trying to pray the gay away, child. He's trying to baptize me down, child. He's trying to, just he's trying to get that gay spirit out of him. He's trying his best. But I personally don't think it's gonna work. Personally. But whatever. So there she break up that low love connection because Jabari, he's kind of sweet on Charity, and Charity's kind of sweet on him. And her husband's sweet, but that's a different story. And so she talks to her sister Grace, and they just like, yo, what's going on? And Charity was just like, look, Carlton is your good Judy. You work with him closer than I do. Like, you really need to convince Mama that it's not right to fire him just because he's gay. Like that doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. Like, you need to like do something about that. Chad was just like, I mean, I do what I can, but then you talk to Daddy, like, with one, oh, Daddy, but basically they think that Grace is their dad's favorite child, um, in which I don't necessarily think that. I feel like he loves all his kids, the daddy, but I don't think that he like favors one over the other. But I just feel like he sees that Grace is probably the most like him, and they relate a lot more on different levels than the other kids. And I mean, it is what it is. Like, it just happens. Doesn't mean he don't love his other kids. Of course he do, but he relates, I guess, more to Grace because she's a pastor as well. But anyway, so she was just like, I'll try. So Charity went on over in there to talk to her mama, Lady May, Lynn Whitfield. And Lady May was just like, I'm sorry, baby, that you thought this was up for discussion, but it's not. The decision's made. And Charity pooched her own shiny ass out of their office, and she was just like, well, I tried. Grace was just like, no, ho, we can do more than that. She was just like, I don't want to. Now get out my face. Charity and Grace kind of have, they're not the closest of sisters. I personally believe that Grace was probably closer to Faith, a sister that committed suicide because her uncle was raping her. Uncle Mac, that bastard. Um, but they're not that close because Charity, she's always, I believe she's like the youngest, so they've always like never paid her any attention really, and they just always looked at her as the baby, and you don't know nothing, you're not gonna know none of the tea in the family, like we just gonna keep everything away from you because you can't make any decisions on your own or whatever. They treat her like a child, and so Grace actually included her in this, and now it just seems like she's backing out for some reason. I just think that Charity just fears her mother and her father. Like she's just don't want to disappoint them, and so she just go along with whatever BS they got going on. And most of the time it is BS because it's just drama with everybody on the show. That's why we live for it. So she was just like, all right, well, I mean, whoop to whoop and whoop to wop. What else we have? So do 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 do. So Lady May, she took it upon herself to go ahead and talk to Carlton. Now Grace was the one that was supposed to fire Carlton, but Lady May decided to fire Carlton before her. Shady, shady, messy boots. So she was just like, seeing as how you're the last person that got employed here, and if you ever need a personal reference, please just let me know, beloved. But you know how the chain of command goes, and you know it's all financial, and we have to make budget cuts and all this kind of stuff. He was just like, "Oh yes, ma'am, I've done been through this before." And he was just like, "May I ask you a question?" She was just like, "Sure." He was like, I know that this is because I'm gay, right? And you know that I know that, you know, y'all knew that I was gay when I first started here because I said it and I came out. So what's the problem? So you sure it's not because I'm gay and all this kind of stuff? And she was just like, no, I promise you, I personally love you. And she was just like, well, what? He was like, what do you think about the Bible? And she was just like, I believe what's in the Bible. I truly do. That's just what I believe. And Carlton was just like, what about love? What about treating people the way you want to be treated? And she was just like, it's not personal, baby. It's all financial. It's all about them Benjamins. And he was just like, okay. He was just like, you know what? I'm going to pray for you. And I pray for that demon that lives deep inside of you. Really diminish. I really pray that thing that lives inside of you, somehow get rid of the thoughts that you think that something is wrong with me. And he pushed on out that office. He read her like a good old classy church queen from the South. And I lived for it. A little later on in the episode, Grace, she went to go talk to Carlton and his partner, played by Cal from Living Single. And they just wasn't here for the bullshit. But Grace was just like, would you please just not leave the church? I know you're upset and everything, but only change can happen when you're sitting at the table. So just please don't leave the church. Like, I would really appreciate it. And, I'm sorry about everything that happened, but I mean, it is what it is. Grace is one of the pastors at the church, one of the leading pastors, but she's not the head. At the end of the day, her mother and her father are still above her, so it's only so much she can do. You know, Lady Mae's just completely 100% just not here for her own daughter, Grace. So it's just crazy. Um, let's see. Um, Bazin, he's who owns Triumph. He's sitting down talking to Jacob, and Jacob was just a little shocked because last week episode he made him a pastor. Now this is what Jacob has always wanted to do, is be a pastor at his father's church. But since he wasn't getting fulfilled at his father's church, he decided to pooch on up the riverside to go to Triumph. So but Jacob was just shocked that he didn't really want all their responsibility all at once. And Bazin, he was just like, basically, you need to trust me, and I'm your brother, and I wouldn't do nothing to hurt you. I wouldn't give you nothing. The Lord wouldn't give me nothing to cast upon you that you couldn't handle. So what's the problem? We brothers, right? I done gave you every single thing that you could think of, every single thing. So don't talk back. Respect your blessings and get on up at my face, boy. Right now. A nasty, vile gutter snipe. I can't wait until Ayanna Van Zant come back on. When she told Nafi Keisha Cole's sister that she was a nasty, vile gutter snipe from the hood, I died. I was just like, oh, hell no. Not a gutter snipe. That's some old school words, child. So anyway, Jacob was just like, okay, whatever. So one of Jacob's little duties was Bazin. He wanted him to pooch on around to neighborhoods and try to recruit people to come to Triumph. And one lady was just like, I go to Calvary, boo. I go to your daddy church. So what is your black ass doing out here? Selling t-shirts and shit and giving mugs from another church. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And he left with his mouth hanging open, child. He know what to do. He know what to do. Lady May, she's still walking around upset because she want James to talk to Jacob. And because they really know that Bazin is a snake. He's just trying to take the daddy down at any cost, and he's doing it through his own son. But Jacob just don't see that, because Jacob just want acceptance from his father. He just want to prove that he can be somebody. Like he's 6 years damn old. So James, he finally comes in. He talks to Jacob, and Jacob was real snotty with her. He was just like, you know what? Bazin might be Boo Boo the Fool. Bazin might be a crook. Bazin might steal meat out people's freezer. But you know what? At least he ain't a false prophet. That hit him to his core, and that hit me to my core. Like a fire, love hit me to the core. No love allowed. Yeah. Yes. Y'all let me know what artist sing that song, what's the name of that song, what album that came off of, and I'll give y'all a shout out in next week's review of Greenleaf by itself or Greenleaf and Braxton Family Values. Smash up. Ow, depending on the work schedule, depending on the work. So, he basically talked to him, and that false prophet thing hit the daddy hard, and the daddy was coming in here to school his ass. He was trying to tell him, yo, your boy is a crook. Like, for real. But, he cussed the kids out, and there you go. Jacob goes back in there to talk to his wife. What is her name? Is her name Zenobia? His wife. She's a bougie little thing. She's something else. And we got Basin's wife showing Jacob's wife around, the different houses, and she just looking just like, all disturbed and shit. And stop acting so bougie, lady. You need to quit. Living in that house with all them damn people. I couldn't even be bothered. Everybody's business. No. Y'all too grown. Get out, child. Meanwhile, I'm living with my mama or whatever. That's my business, child. You don't know my struggle. So anyway, he goes back in there and talk to her, and he's just always trying to prove something to his daddy. His daddy is constantly paying him dust, child. Dust. There was no Oprah in this episode, and I was a little upset. I love seeing Oprah in every single episode of this show, because she just brings the shit and the drama, and she makes May, or tries to get May to own up to her shit, especially to the whole thing of her possibly knowing that her daughter was getting raped by their own brother, Mac. So anyway, let's see. We got the two little girls, the two granddaughters. Grace, oldest girl, well, Grace only child, Sophia, and Jacob's oldest child, Zara, I believe. They like this little boy, the little boy from B5 last week who was singing at the little church function outside. They like him, and well, mainly it's Sophia, Grace's daughter, who like him. But they went to go to his rehearsal, and he's trying to hit on Zara, child. And Sophia, she's gonna lose it, child. She like her mama. She don't like to lose in love. So it's just gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a battle between the two little cousins, though. They're so cute. Let's see. Hmm. We meet Darius Nash. He is a journalist, played by Rick Fox, and basically he's a Christian, but he's a journalist or whatever, pooching around on the radio, making phone calls, whatever the hell his all his job includes. Um, and he's trying to hit on Grace. He's trying to talk to Grace, but Grace is paying him dust. But anyway, they go out on a night on the town. They're both trying to dance. And they sit down and had a conversation, and she basically wanted somebody to talk to about the whole situation, about them firing Calvin and all that kind of stuff. And Rick was just like, "That's real fucked up." Like, he really didn't offer any advice. It was just like, "Child, he's just trying to get some." But hopefully, Grace gets some, and calm down a little bit. She's so stressed out. But I think that this Rick Fox character Darius Nash, I think he's a crook. I think he's working with Triumph. I don't trust him. Mm-mm. He's light skinned, he's good looking, and he got slick hair. Don't trust him. I'm telling you. With that pretty smile, that nickel slick talk. Come on, Jennifer Lewis told y'all best in Meet the Browns. Don't trust Rick Fox. So yeah, let me see. Is there anything else that I'm missing, you guys? Oh, Charity. She met with her husband. I keep forgetting his name. Charity met with her husband, and they had a conversation, and a lady that worked at the church, she came up to him and was just like, "Yeah, hey, what's up? I'm sorry about the rash. I told y'all, what will work with the rash because Charity didn't had the baby. She was pregnant with twin boys, but she lost one of the twins. So last week she had the baby, the premiere episode. Um, and he just kind of played it off, but to be honest, Charity been at the house, and Lady May and all them been taking turns with the baby. Um, the daddy, he done been gone pooching on with some man in the woods or something. I don't know what the hell he's been doing, but he ain't been at the main house. Um, so they finally had a conversation. She's like starting to open up with him to him a little bit more, and hopefully they work it out. That whole praying the gay away thing, I don't believe in it. I think it's a crock of shit, a bunch of shit. Like, why would you want to pray away something that is a part of you, something that's not even a bad thing? Like, it's just only a bad thing according to other people, to be honest. Because in my opinion, what the Bible gives me is just treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt other people. Be a good person. Pooch on them vegetables. Pooch on them fruits. Be good to your body and all that good stuff. I mean, I did just have a chicken wrap. It had rice and veggies in it, yes, but it also had chicken in it. It also had steak. It also had cheese. I don't know. I have to go over the Bible a little bit more. But I think that's pretty much it, you guys. Like I said, I'll give you guys. There was no. Oh, one more thing. Um, apparently the daddy's dying. Dying. Um, May and Max and Mavis, daddy, um, is dying. The old man that kissed Lynn Whitfield last week, her own dad, is slobbered in the mouth, so he won't, testify against her husband. A mess. So anyway, apparently he's dying on his deathbed, and Mac had called May, and she just basically said she don't give a damn. So the preacher, James, the daddy, May's husband, goes over and talks to the daddy and pray with him and all that kind of stuff, and he just wanted to know with the guy who because he was the one that spilled all the tea about to Grace about them burning the church on fire him and Mac and all that kind of stuff. So he just wanted to know that that man that was in that church, apparently they didn't know that the daddy didn't know when he burnt the church down that it was a person in that church. Apparently he didn't know. He said it was an accident. So who knows, child? It's coming back up. It was done in '83, but it's coming back up. But he just wanted to ask the father before he passed away. Did the guy who burned up in the church, did he have a son? And was that son Bazin? But before he could answer, Mac came in, and Mac and James don't set houses. I mean, Mac raped his daughter, so I mean, hell. Um, and he tried to talk to James Mac, and James was just like, you know what? The Bible says I have to forgive you, but I will never forget. And then he just walked out, and then Mac had a conversation with his father, and two crooks together, probably molesting the whole family. Who knows? Just it's a mess. But this kind of stuff goes on every day. So, and in the black community, we tend to like sweep everything up under the rug. So, it's kind of interesting that this show is exposing all the secrets, child. Ooh, child. That's pretty much it, you guys. Like I said, go watch, go ring that bell at the bottom so you can see my videos as soon as I post them. Be the first ones to, like, comment, whatever, share. And also, like I said, if I'm able to do the single videos separately, then I will. But if not, then I'll just give you guys Greenleaf and Braxton Family Values smash up. So go and watch the other video, the first video I posted. So yeah. Oh, and also they're starting this whole Own Tonight thing. After they premiere Greenleaf. Well, I actually saw about like 2 in the morning. But anyway, after they premiere Greenleaf, they're doing like a own show afterwards where they talk about the show. And it seems pretty cool. They had Loretta Devine, Alicia Renee, and Rick Fox on there as a guest host, as a guest star on the show. It's a cute little sit down show where they talk about Greenleaf, and you get behind the scenes on the set and all that kind of stuff. And so it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. Whatever. I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ITSKINGWORLD on Instagram and Twitter. At ITSKINGWORLD89 on Snapchat. But all the information be in the bottom bar below. I promise, darling. It's just a copy and paste. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Next week. Or later. Next week. In a few days. Whenever, child. My next video will probably be Real Housewives of Atlanta. So stay tuned for that. I love you much. I really do. Amen.